In 2023, the FDA flagged a potential link between certain legume-heavy dog foods and canine dilated cardiomyopathy, a fatal heart condition striking otherwise healthy dogs. That investigation remains open, and some of the brands under scrutiny are sitting on pet store shelves right now, wrapped in organic labels and feel-good packaging your dog cannot read. But open the wrong bag, and what you're really feeding your dog is endocrine-disrupting soy fillers, salmonella-contaminated kibble, and protein levels so low they accelerate muscle wasting, all dressed up as premium organic nutrition. You chose organic because you love your dog. You paid more because the label said you should. That trust has been weaponized against you. Today, I'm breaking down 8 organic dog food brands that betrayed your pet, including 2 that most owners consider the safest choices on the shelf, plus the 4 brands that actually deliver what organic should mean. Coming in at number 8, Newman's own organic dog food. The familiar face on the label, the charitable mission printed on every bag. Paul Newman's legacy turned into a pet food empire built on goodwill, nostalgia, and the assumption that a brand donating all its profits to charity would never cut corners on what matters most. Buying Newman's own feels like supporting a cause. It feels like the right thing to do for your dog and for the world. Then independent analysts looked at what's actually inside the bag. Some formulations showed protein levels measurably lower than what the label guaranteed. The gap between the promised nutritional profile and the actual nutrient content means your dog is getting less muscle-building fuel than you paid for. Less than the guaranteed analysis says is in there. Where did the missing protein go? It was replaced with organic grains. Open that bag and feel the fine dust that rises into the air. That powder coating your hands, settling on your countertop, drifting across the kitchen. That's not protein. That's filler wearing an organic certificate like a costume. For an aging dog already losing muscle mass and struggling with mobility, every gram of protein matters. A diet that quietly substitutes grain dust for real animal protein accelerates the exact decline you're trying to prevent. Muscle wasting, joint weakness. The slow fade that turns a vibrant companion into a dog who can barely make it up the stairs. Your dog didn't choose this food. Your dog trusts you to choose wisely. Newman's own charges premium prices for a beautiful charitable story. The charity is genuine. The nutrition inside may not be. A beloved name, a worthy mission, a protein deficit hiding behind both. That face on the label keeps smiling. The food inside keeps under-delivering. That was a brand coasting on reputation alone. The next one rides on a certification most owners assume means perfection. It does not. At number 7, Organics by Castor and Pollux, the first USDA-certified organic kibble in America. That's not marketing spin. It's a genuine historic milestone. Organics earned that certification before any other dog food brand in the country, and they've built their entire identity around being the pioneer, the original, the one that started the organic pet food movement. The problem is, what qualifies for organic certification and what your dog actually needs to thrive are 2 entirely different standards. Look at the ingredient panel. The primary protein source is organic chicken meal, not fresh chicken, not whole deboned meat. Meal. Rendered, dehydrated, and heavily processed long before it reaches the extrusion machine. It qualifies as organic. It also delivers significantly lower bioavailable protein than fresh whole meat. Your dog's digestive system simply cannot extract the same amino acid value from rendered meal as it can from real meat. The protein profile degrades during the rendering process. Digestibility drops measurably. Independent pet food reviewers have also flagged inconsistencies in the guaranteed analysis values between batches of the same product. One bag might hit the protein target printed on the label. The very next bag from the same production line might fall noticeably short. That variability means your dog's nutrition quietly changes every time you open a new bag without you ever knowing. Pour the kibble into the bowl. Notice how perfectly uniform every piece looks. Identical shapes, identical color, identical size. That uniformity is not a sign of quality control. It is the hallmark of extreme industrial processing, where every ingredient gets ground into the same paste and pushed through the same die. Organics was first. Being first never meant being best. If the first certified organic brand cuts corners on protein, surely the brand's marketing ethical treatment delivered better nutrition for your dog. They do not. At number 6, Tender and True Organic Dog Food, Humane Certified. USDA Organic. Ethically sourced proteins from farms that treat animals with genuine dignity. Tender and True checks. Every emotional box a compassionate pet owner could want to see. The chickens lived well. The cows grazed on real pastures. The packaging practically radiates kindness. It's beautiful, principled marketing. Then you look at the actual macronutrient breakdown printed in small type on the back, and the compassion stops being the point. The carbohydrate to protein ratio in several tender and true formulations runs substantially higher than what board-certified veterinary nutritionists recommend for adult dogs. More starch, less meat, every single bite. High carbohydrate loads in a dog's diet contribute directly to weight gain, insulin resistance, chronic systemic inflammation, and pancreatic stress. For a senior dog already battling joint pain, metabolic slowdown, and diminishing mobility, that excessive carbohydrate burden does not just add pounds to an already stiff frame. It accelerates every age-related condition your veterinarian has been cautioning you about for years. Kidney strain, liver burden, the cascading decline that shortens your remaining years together. Scoop the food into the bowl. Feel how surprisingly light it is compared to a protein-dense kibble. Quality meat-forward food has genuine weight and density. Carbohydrate-heavy food feels airy, almost hollow in your palm. That lightness is your dog's missing nutrition, physically absent from the bowl. The flavor range is also severely limited. 2 or 3 options where competitors offer a dozen. Fewer protein sources means fewer opportunities to rotate proteins, something veterinary dermatologists specifically recommend to prevent the gradual development of food allergies over time. Compassion on the farm. Carbohydrates in the bowl. Your dog needed nutrition. They got a story. A lot of devoted owners turn to holistic brands thinking transparency comes standard with the philosophy. It absolutely does not. Number 5 is Natural Planet Organics. Holistic. Organic. Sourced from quality farms. Natural Planet Organics sounds like everything a careful, research-minded pet owner searches for online. The website uses words like balanced and wholesome and nutritionally complete. The packaging feels deliberate, earthy, and trustworthy. But ask one straightforward question and the trust starts cracking. Where exactly is this food manufactured? Which facility handles production? Under whose direct oversight? What independent testing has been performed and published? Natural Planet Organics offers limited transparency about its manufacturing operations when compared to premium competitors in the same price range. The brand has not voluntarily submitted to many of the third-party testing programs that other organic dog food brands use to independently verify their nutritional claims and safety standards. No independent lab results posted publicly on their website. No detailed sourcing maps showing which farms grew which ingredients. No lot number traceability tools letting a customer track ingredients from the field to the final bag. Compare that to brands that publish complete audit results for anyone to read. Brands that let you trace every single ingredient to a specific farm with a documented inspection date and a verifiable certification number. Natural Planet asks you to trust what's printed on the label. They don't provide the tools to verify anything behind it. For a dog showing early signs of kidney stress, mineral content matters enormously. Excessive phosphorus accelerates permanent renal decline. Insufficient calcium weakens bones already compromised by age. Without verified independent lab data confirming actual mineral levels batch by batch, you are guessing with your dog's organ function. Your dog's kidneys cannot survive guesswork. Holistic is not a regulated term in pet food. Any company can print it on any bag at any time. Natural Planet Organics sells a philosophy. What they don't sell is proof that the philosophy reaches the bowl. If this helps you keep your pets safer at the store, hit subscribe. It's free, and it means you'll never miss these exposes. See the pattern forming? Organic certifications, humane labels, holistic promises, and not a single one of these brands has delivered verified, transparent nutrition your dog can depend on. So what happens when a genuine pioneer in the industry builds 50 years of trust? At number 4, PetGuard Organic Dog Food. On shelves since the 1970s, one of the very first natural pet food companies in American history. PetGuard was championing clean ingredients before clean ingredients became a marketing trend, before organic was a buzzword, before social media influencers reviewed kibble on camera. 5 decades of brand trust built one bag at a time. 5 decades of telling pet owners they were the original, the authentic alternative. Then the FDA sent formal warning letters. Labeling violations. The federal agency responsible for ensuring pet food labels accurately reflect the contents of the bag found problems serious enough to warrant official regulatory action against the company. That alone should make any devoted pet owner pause before purchasing. But the ingredient list tells an even more troubling story. Several PetGuard formulations feature organic soybean meal prominently in the recipe. Soy is one of the most commonly documented allergens in canine nutrition. It triggers persistent skin irritation, chronic ear infections that smell yeasty and resist treatment, recurring digestive upset, and progressive coat deterioration. Soy is also a documented endocrine disruptor in dogs. In sensitive animals, soy-based proteins interfere with thyroid function and destabilize hormonal balance over time. A dog eating soy-heavy food every day for years absorbs a steady dose of a known hormonal disruptor with every meal, while you believe you're feeding them something premium and safe. Watch your dog over weeks on this food. The scratching that never fully stops, the head shaking from ears that refuse to clear, the stomach noises after every single feeding. Those symptoms aren't random. They're your dog's body reacting to an ingredient that should never be the protein foundation of any quality dog food. 5 decades in business. FDA warnings on file. Soy in the bowl. The pioneers stopped pioneering decades ago. Think paying for a premium store brand from America's most health-conscious grocer protects your pet? Wait until you see what's actually inside the bag. Number 3. 365 by Whole Foods Organic Dog Food. The Whole Foods House brand. The grocery chain that fundamentally reshaped how America thinks about food quality and ingredient transparency. If any retailer on earth would get organic dog food right, it should be this one. The sterling reputation, the educated, health-conscious customer base, the company that built a grocery empire on standards most competitors cannot touch. Open a bag of 365 organic dog food and read the first several ingredients on the panel. Organic peas. Pea protein, pea fiber. Peas appearing in 3 distinct processed forms dominating the ingredient list before you ever reach a real animal protein source. The FDA has been actively investigating a potential connection between pea-heavy, legume-dense canine diets and dilated cardiomyopathy. DCM, a disease where the heart muscle weakens, thins, stretches beyond functional capacity, and eventually fails without any warning. Dogs collapse on living room floors while their owners are at work. Dogs die during routine afternoon walks showing no prior symptoms. The investigation launched in 2018 and the case remains officially open today. The causal mechanism is not fully established yet, but the statistical correlation between high legume diets and heart failure in breeds not genetically predisposed to the condition alarmed the FDA enough to issue formal public advisories. Whole Foods knows about this open investigation. Every pet food manufacturer in America knows. And organic peas in multiple processed forms remain the structural foundation of this recipe. Because peas are cheap, they inflate the protein percentage on the guaranteed analysis without requiring expensive animal protein. It is a formulation tactic called protein splitting, listing the same base ingredient in multiple processed variations so no single pea entry appears as the dominant ingredient. The label looks diverse. The bowl is overwhelmingly pea. Premium shelves. Budget ingredient tricks. Your dog's heart deserved better from the store you trust most. Drop a comment if any of these brands are sitting in your pantry right now. Let's see how many dogs we can help protect today. This next brand carries a celebrity name that makes people feel comfortable and safe. The name is not the problem, the lawsuit is. Number 2. Rachael Ray Nutrish Organic, the Just 6 line. 6 simple ingredients. A famous chef's smiling face on every bag. Limited ingredient recipes designed specifically for dogs with dietary sensitivities. Rachael Ray. Nutrish sounds like someone who genuinely understands and cares about what goes into your pet's food. 6 ingredients. Clean label. Nothing to hide. Then the class action lawsuit hit and everything changed. The broader Nutrish brand faced federal litigation alleging that trace levels of glyphosate, the active herbicide in Monsanto's Roundup, were detected in products prominently marketed as natural. Glyphosate, the same chemical at the center of thousands of human cancer lawsuits around the world. The same substance Bayer paid billions to settle claims over after acquiring Monsanto. Found in dog food sold with a celebrity chef's endorsement and the word natural printed across every single package. Just 6 ingredients. Plus 1 they never listed on the label. The organic line operates under the same corporate umbrella, the same supply chain infrastructure, the same sourcing and manufacturing relationships as the conventional products where glyphosate was found. When a brand's standard products test positive for herbicide contamination, the premium organic line sharing that same corporate pipeline demands the most rigorous scrutiny possible. Pick up the bag. Feel the oily film coating every kibble piece. That slick residue transferring to your fingers, your dog's ceramic bowl, your kitchen floor. That is rendered fat sprayed onto the surface after extrusion to make otherwise bland processed food smell appetizing. Taste is engineered. Nutrition is secondary to palatability metrics. For a dog eating this food twice daily for years, even trace-level accumulation of any chemical contaminant builds inside a smaller body with less efficient organs. What registers as a trace level on a laboratory report registers very differently inside a 40-pound body consuming the identical food for a decade. Celebrity name on the bag. Federal lawsuit in the courts. Herbicide residue in the natural brand. Your dog trusted your judgment completely. Every brand on this list made promises to you and your dog. This final one broke the most dangerous promise of all. Number 1. Iams Organic Select Lines. The veterinarian recommended brand. The name that hung on framed posters in your vet's waiting room for decades. The dog food that multiple generations of American families bought without a second thought because a medical professional they trusted told them it was the right choice. Iams converted that professional authority into unquestioned consumer loyalty. Multiple major recalls across their product history. Salmonella-contamination discovered in their products not as an isolated manufacturing incident, not as a one-time quality failure, but as a pattern recurring across different production periods. Salmonella in dog food does not only threaten your dog's gastrointestinal system, it threatens every surface that contaminated food touches in your home. The bowl sitting on your kitchen floor, the countertop where you set the bag down each morning, your bare hands before you remember to wash them, the floor where a visiting grandchild crawls during the holidays. Cross-contamination from salmonella-tainted pet food sends thousands of Americans to emergency rooms every single year. And for pet owners who also happen to be managing immunosuppressive medications or taking blood thinners for their own health conditions, a salmonella infection is not an uncomfortable stomach bug. It is a genuine medical emergency that can escalate to critical in hours. Beyond the contamination history, the ingredient panels in some Iams formulations marketed under premium organic branding do not match what premium or organic should ever mean. Corn-based fillers sitting alongside organic claims. Byproduct meals that no transparently operated brand would include. Ingredients fundamentally inconsistent with what organic certification was created to guarantee. The word organic on an Iams bag sits directly next to ingredients you would find in the cheapest generic store brand on the lowest shelf of a dollar store. Decades of veterinary endorsement constructed an unquestioned fortress of consumer trust around this name. Families never challenged Iams. Nobody read the back of the bag. Open it now. That sharp, acrid chemical smell that hits you before your hand reaches inside. That is not freshness. That is preservatives and industrial rendered fats masking what lies beneath. The most trusted name in dog food. The most dangerous brand on this entire list. 8 brands exposed. 8 organic promises shattered. 8 betrayals hiding behind certifications, celebrity endorsements, and labels engineered to exploit the bond you share with your dog. But not every brand is lying to you. 4 companies prove that organic dog food can mean exactly what it should mean. Clean ingredients, verified nutrition, and a genuine commitment to your dog's health that runs deeper than the label. Safe pick number 1. The Honest Kitchen Organic Whole Grain Dog Food. Human grade. Not feed grade. Not manufactured in a feed mill alongside industrial livestock rations. Produced in a licensed human food facility that meets the exact same FDA standards required for human consumption. That single regulatory distinction matters more than any organic seal on any bag ever could. The same inspections, the same sanitation testing, the same microbiological protocols that govern the food on your own dinner plate govern what goes into every batch of this product. The Honest Kitchen voluntarily submits to independent third-party laboratory testing and publishes results openly. Full ingredient traceability available to any customer who requests it. A clean recall history that the brands on our avoid list simply cannot come close to matching. Where Iams accumulated repeated salmonella recalls and PetGuard collected FDA warning letters, the Honest Kitchen built trust the only legitimate way, by earning it through verified, repeatable transparency over years. Open the package and the difference hits immediately. The dehydrated format means no greasy residue transferring to your hands, no sharp chemical smell, no airborne kibble dust coating your kitchen surfaces. Add warm water and watch real food emerge. Visible vegetables, actual textures and natural colors rising from the bowl. Your dog's enthusiasm at mealtime is not engineered by sprayed-on rendered fats. It is a genuine response to genuine nutrition. The dehydrated format is lightweight and completely shelf-stable with no refrigeration required. The Honest Kitchen costs more than the brands we exposed. It should, because the food inside actually matches every single word on the label. Safe pick number 2. Castor and Pollux Pristine Organic. Yes, the same parent company as Organics, which landed on our avoid list at number 7. But Pristine is a fundamentally different product line built on fundamentally different formulation standards, and that distinction changes everything for your dog. Pristine moves beyond basic organic certification by sourcing exclusively free-range and pasture-raised proteins with documented supply chain transparency at every step from farm to finished product. Every recipe carries full USDA organic certification, but unlike brands that treat that badge as a finish line, Pristine publishes detailed sourcing maps showing exactly where proteins and produce originated. You can independently verify every single origin claim without relying on blind trust. The ingredient list reads clean and straightforward. Real whole meat as the first listed ingredient. No soy fillers triggering allergic cascades. No ambiguous byproduct meals. No pea protein tricks artificially inflating guaranteed analysis percentages. What you read on the panel is what your dog actually eats from the bowl, verified by independent testing. For dogs struggling with chronic skin conditions or recurring digestive episodes, a simplified and transparent ingredient list dramatically reduces the allergen triggers that create expensive veterinary emergencies. Fewer mystery ingredients means fewer inflammatory responses. Pour Pristine into the bowl and compare it to Organic's kibble from the same parent company. The pieces show naturally varied shapes and color differences because real whole ingredients do not extrude into perfectly identical uniform pellets. The smell is mild, genuinely meaty, and clean with no chemical sharpness whatsoever. Pristine proves that a company can acknowledge its earlier shortcomings and build something genuinely better that your dog actually deserves. Safe pick number 3. Open Farm Homestead Turkey and Chicken Organic Options. Open Farm does something almost no other pet food brand in America offers. They trace every single ingredient back to its specific source farm and let you verify the results yourself. Not a vague transparency promise buried on a corporate about page. An actual functional lot number lookup tool hosted on their website where you enter the code printed on your specific bag and see exactly where every component originated, which farm grew it, which facility processed it, which independent auditor verified the safety and nutritional results, all posted publicly for any customer to access at any time. The brand holds active certifications from both the Global Animal Partnership and Certified Humane programs, standards requiring ongoing periodic audits rather than one-time approvals that never get revisited. Independent laboratory verification confirms that the nutritional claims on the guaranteed analysis match what is actually inside the bag. No protein shortfalls like Newman's own. No batch-to-batch inconsistencies like Organics. What the label promises is exactly what your dog receives every time you pour a bowl. Open the bag and notice what is missing first. No chemical preservative smell assaulting your senses. The kibble looks physically different from industrial brands. Irregular, natural shapes, visible ingredient variation, color differences between individual pieces. Your dog's mealtime enthusiasm is not manufactured by flavor scientists spraying palatants onto the surface. It is a genuine appetitive response to food that delivers real nutrition. Open Farm's lot number traceability tool sets them apart from every brand on the avoid list. When a company invites you to verify everything, they have nothing to hide. Safe pick number 4. Dr. Harvey's Vegetable Organic. This final recommendation is fundamentally different from everything else on this list. Dr. Harvey's does not sell a complete finished dog food. They sell a certified organic base mix of dehydrated whole vegetables, ancient grains, and therapeutic herbs. You add your own fresh protein at home. Chicken you selected at the butcher counter. Turkey breast from a source you personally trust. Beef from a farm you have actually researched. You control exactly what your dog eats because you are the one choosing and preparing the animal protein component yourself. The base mix contains no synthetic vitamins, no chemical preservatives, no rendered animal meals, no soy, no corn, no pea protein tricks, and no mystery ingredients requiring a food science degree to decode. Certified organic with 0 product recalls in the company's entire operational history. 0. While Iams accumulated salmonella contaminations and Rachael Ray Nutrish faced glyphosate litigation, Dr. Harvey's maintained a perfect and unblemished safety record every single year. Open the bag and see actual recognizable food with your own eyes. Dried sweet potato pieces you could identify blindfolded. Visible green bean segments. Real carrot shavings with natural orange color. Herbs you could name on site. This is not extruded kibble powder or identical brown pellets engineered in a processing plant. This is food that looks like food. Add warm water and your chosen protein, then watch your dog eat with a focus and satisfaction that no rendered fat spray could ever replicate. Zero recalls. Full owner control. Nutrition. You can see, smell, and verify yourself. 8 brands exposed, 4 worth your trust. Your dog chose you as their world. Subscribe, and if you're watching on TV, tap your remote so you never get blindsided again.